Hi friends, welcome to the Fake Sweets collab hosted by Kiki DIYs, Tammy from Happiness Created, and co-host Tammy from The Rusted Willow. I have some beautiful fake sweets that you can have out all year long. I'll have a link to the host and the playlist in the description box.
For this DIY, I've got some Sculpey air dry clay. I find this at Walmart. You get 2.2 pounds. So I have this mold. This is from a large gummy bear that my son wanted from Hobby Lobby. And when he was finished, I was like, you know what? I could probably do something with that. And finally, 2 years later, I'm doing something with it. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna make my gummy bear pink. So first, I wanna go ahead and get my clay. I don't know how much I'm gonna need. I'll just start out with a couple of chunks, and you have to soften it. So I'm gonna get this softened up and get it pressed into my mold.
With my first bit of clay softened up, I just press it down into the gummy bear form as best as I can. Then I flip it over to see if it's really filling out the face and the arms. So I just take my knuckles and kind of press in, and then grab more clay to fill in the back so that it'll be sturdy once it's finished. And I try to stand it up. And I say mold loosely, it's just a container that an actual large gummy bear was in. It's not like the same quality of plastic that like the chocolate molds, the candy molds are made from. So when I saved this, I figured I may get one, maybe two uses out of it because it's not exactly, made for crafting. So I don't know why my camera was not focusing at this point, but for me to get this out, I made a little notch with my razor blade at the top and at the bottom so that I could safely release the clay and not damage the form of the gummy bear. In hindsight, I probably should have tried the freezer method to see if I could have popped it out of the molds a bit better, but I didn't think about that till my last project. So I'm going to lay this out on a piece of parchment paper to dry, and I'm just rubbing in some of the spots where they're like little nicks and just trying to get it as smooth as possible.
Okay, this has been drying for 3 days now. So now I'm gonna go ahead and paint it. There are some little spots that, there are some cracks, but nothing like that's through and through that I feel like it's gonna break apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this covered in my paint, and I've decided against the pink. I'm gonna go ahead and make this apple red, a nice bright red gummy bear.
So once that red dried, I'm going to cover this with matte Mod Podge to seal and protect my paint because I know this little gummy will have lots of handprints and little touches on him. So I want him to be as protected as possible. Additionally, glitter could be added to this to make it look like some of those sour gummies that have that texture on the outside. But I'm going to leave this gummy just like this. I think it turned out so cute. We love gummies, and this little gummy bear is such a cute addition to my sweets decor. I did use about half my clay for this, so this gummy bear is 1 pound.
For this DIY, I'm making a miniature cake. So I've got a foam round from DollarTree, the wooden apples, pink, seashell pink, some spackling. So I want to go ahead and get my spackling mixed with my pink paint so I can get my cake frosted.
I used the Dollar Tree pet nail snippers to pull the stem out of the apple, and then a actual cherry stem to press down into the top. And I really think it's going to come out looking like a real candy cherry. And I'm painting it with this red apple barrel paint, and when that dries, I'll add gloss Mod Podge to really give it that candied appearance. And to really press this down into the top of the cake, I'm going to apply a little bit more of that spackle mixture, and then I take some that I had left over from another project in white, and I add like a faux cream around the bottom of my cherry, and then I wanted to go around the edge of the top of the cake with that faux white frosting. And then I add some to the bottom as well to really give it a cute dessert look. And here it is, all complete and dry. Cute little mini cake that can be used for any season.
For this DIY, I've got a candy mold, hearts, more of my air dry clay, some real brown, and then some pink puff paint. So I'm going to make a faux candy bar and some little heart chocolate. I've got about half of my clay left from my gummy bear. Okay, so for these smaller ones, I'm gonna pop these in the freezer. I've heard from some other crafters that if you put your clay in the freezer, it'll pop out of the mold easier. So, or you can use cornstarch, and I don't have any cornstarch, so I'm gonna see if that freezer method works.
While the hearts are in the freezer, I'm going to make my candy bar. So I'm just pressing my clay out, and I'm going to get a ruler and actually a spackle spatula to slice off my edges so I get a nice even rectangle. And to make the sections of my candy bar, I'm just going to take a piece of a bamboo skewer and press it down into the clay to make the sections like the Hershey bar has. I'm not measuring when I lay my bamboo skewer down. I mean, if you want to make yours absolutely perfect, you can take your ruler, but I just eyeballed it and pressed it down both horizontally and vertically to make the sections of my candy bar, and then I left this to dry for 24 hours. So initially I left the hearts in for like an hour or two, and they weren't completely frozen. They were a bit firm and I could nudge them out. But the last one I decided to I left it in overnight, and as you can see, it popped right out. So that is a really good method to just freeze the clay. So once everything was completely dry, I'm just gonna give it 2 coats of this real brown. It is a gloss paint, so it gives a nice effect to the faux chocolate. I'm going to use this hot pink puff paint for half of the chocolate hearts. The first one will just get some little dots, and the other 2 I'll do like a zigzag pattern just to make it look a bit more pleasing to the eye and look a little delicious, like a raspberry frosting. These are the best kind of chocolates for my diet because they don't add any pounds. I can just look at them and I don't have to worry about eating them. Let me know, what do you think of my faux chocolates? I'll probably keep all of these on the small cake stand. And here's a visual of everything all together. These were so much fun to make. Let me know, what do you guys think of all of my treats? Don't forget the wonderful playlist. There's so many talented creators. I'm so excited to see all the fake sweets that everyone makes. I'll have a link to the playlist and all the hosts. Have a wonderful, blessed day.